There are many theories about humor. Freud said that humor or jokes serve the same purpose as dreams. They take forbidden or taboo subjects such as sex and hostility and disguise them so that they may be momentarily enjoyed. Excuse me. You're about to be subjected to what could be the most important test you'll ever take in your life. In order to take the test, you'll need the following. A, the official National Humor Test questionnaire attached to your TV guide. 2, the official National Humor Test blank piece of paper. If you haven't received yours in the mail, and I know that many of you haven't, any blank or semi-blank piece of paper will do, that's 2. And C, a common house pencil. Now, follow my instructions very carefully. Remove your NHT questionnaire from the TV guide and fold it along the vertical, sort of invisible line in the center, as I am. And now make 2 separate folds, so, on each side. Toss it gently toward your set. If this is difficult for you, or you have tennis elbow or a pulled shoulder muscle, or don't have a TV set, you may wish to simply roll up your answer sheet and stick it away somewhere. In your case, of course, you may do the same with your house pencil. I want you to give yourself 10 points for an accurate toss and deduct 2 points, of course, if you use the roll and shove method. Part 1 of our test is called The History of Humor. But before we begin with me here in the studio to aid in the scoring, and let me say that all are experts in the field, our first but not least psychologist, columnist, comedian, Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Thank you, and good evening, Chip.
Good evening, Joyce. Thank you. Jack Fisk, very celebrated mime. Good evening and welcome, Jack. Very beautiful and lovely psychologist, columnist, comedian, Miss Pam Dober.
Hi, Chevy. Glad to be here.
Glad to have had you. And last but certainly least, my good friend and colleague, the delightful and much overexposed Martin Mull.
Thank you, Chevy. You know, years ago in New York when we
That'll be fine, Martin. Don't waste yourself. Throughout the telecast, your scores will be compared with the scores of audiences that we have assembled in 4 cities. Dallas, Chicago, our studio audience here in Los Angeles, and in New York, of course. Question 1 deals with the history of humor. The origins of humor date back to ancient A, Germany, B, the song Big John, and C, Egypt. You have 5 seconds.
If you picked A, Germany, you were wrong. Germany has never been funny.
If you picked B, the song Big John, you were also incorrect. Big John is a song, not an ancient civilization.
The correct answer was C, Egypt.
Okay, let's check our scoreboard and see how people did across the country, shan't we? In Dallas, 45% of our audience answered correctly. In Chicago, the Windy City, 43% got the right answer. In New York, 100%, very nice. And of course, here in L.A., there were no correct answers. In fact, the ancient Egyptians were first in many areas. Medicine, mathematics, pyramids. I believe they were the first to do this. But it was in 1915, when excavations began in the Valley of the Kings, that the contents of the tomb of the pharaoh Sheki proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was indeed the birthplace of humor. Ladies and gentlemen, the pharaoh who started it all, the mummy Sheki. Practicus Jocatus, the Roman senator, 117 BC, 116 Central Time, has been credited with being the father of the practical joke.
Your arthritis? Does this newly donned wreath of laurel make me look heavy?
No, esophagus, not with your bone structure.
Well, come closer and give closer countenance.
Well, how's this?
Closer still. Gaze into my eyes.
You know, by the Middle Ages, humor was maturing. And though the average man of the period could only expect to live to the age of, 27 or so, and the average woman to the age of 9, these innovations made their lives kind of worthwhile. The dribble chalice. What Uh-oh. Still funny today. Whoopee armor. And of course, phony dragon duty. Still malleable, even today. For the next 250 years, well, nothing funny happened at all. Until...
Lord, we give thanks for the bountiful feast you've set upon our table. We thank you also for the good health of our family and friends. Lord, one more thing, kind of a personal favor. Could we get smaller collars? These are, ridiculous. Its length, maybe wing tip or something, but this is Peter Pan.
That must be the collars.
That was fast. Come in. Can I help you?
I bring maize.
Maize? Well, what would that be?
Maize?
What is maize?
What is that?
Corn. Great. Corn. Fine. Let's go.
2 for a white one.
Thank you. Rubber corn.
Will you get out of here with that stuff? You big red galoot.
Gull oil. People thinning out wildlife for people. We've been given permission to photograph a seldom seen area of the National Humor Museum, the Great Hall of Jokes. And of course, I'm here with the curator of the museum, Dr. Margaret Steinstein. Steinstein, I'm sorry.
Chevy, welcome to the Great Hall of Jokes. At one time, this room was filled with shelves, and those shelves had on them stored every joke ever written by man. All the jokes...
These are all shelves, then, of books of jokes?
As far as you can see, jokes that summed up the humor of mankind from time ad infinitum.
Time memorial.
As you know, the storage...
Doctors and hospitals, Mike Nichols, my mate.
Sure, all that stuff. The storage system became obsolete thanks to modern technology, and as a result, the contents of the entire Great Hall of Jokes have been reduced to a single tiny piece of microfilm.
All of them? And the books are just...
Every joke.
Books are gone?
It took 12 years to photograph them, and once that was done, they destroyed the originals and preserved the jokes on microfilm.
That's quite amazing. On a tiny piece of microfilm, everything.
Yeah, would you like to see it?
See the microfilm?
The actual microfilm itself?
Sure, where can we...
I'm the proud custodian of that film.
Oh, my gosh.
I have to show it to you.
This is an exciting thing for
the
me.
jokes, and be very careful to hold it by the edges because you don't want to get grease on there.
That's almost bent. Almost bent.
Oh, there it goes. Now, you need a very sharp, focused light source to look at that, so
yeah,
why don't you do that?
That is something. Just maybe from behind me. This is not... Yeah. I think I have something. Some light. This is an exciting thing for me. But
it just went right up there, didn't it?
Yeah, it just burned right up. I wasn't...
I suppose I should call somebody.
I think you better call somebody, yeah. I'm
sorry. Do you have a dime?
I think I left my change in my other pants. Wait a second. I know I did. Got some change here. Yeah. Boy, that's a shame. You just need a dime?
Yes, thank you.
Here, keep this in case I'm sorry. How about, do you remember my wife is so fat that...
Too late for that.
This gorilla walks into a bar. No, bar. Boy, I'm sorry.
Go.
Sure.
Go. Poof. Go.
Boy.
What first attracted me to you?
What?
Your smile.
Thanks. I have a pretty good smile. What else?
Well, I thought you had a good sense of humor, and you seem sincere.
I am sincere. I'm very sincere, very deeply sincere.
That's nice.
Did you have a good time tonight?
Yeah, I had a really good time.
I did too.
Good.
I'd like to see you again. How about tomorrow night?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
How about 8 o'clock?
9 o'clock sounds fine to me.
I'll be here at 1:15.
All right.
See you then.
Okay.
Bye.
Wait.
What?
Aren't you gonna kiss me goodnight?
Yeah, sure. You kidding?
Hello. Probably both just move up one, but then who's going to be the band leader instead of Doc? Could be anybody. Hello. This is the 100th anniversary of Albert Einstein's birth, and we here at the National Humor Test are pretty darned excited about it. Mankind is grateful to Albert Einstein for his many incredible accomplishments, except for that whole nuclear thing. Thank you, Einstein. Thank you very much. Incidentally, a lot of people don't know this, but in 1932, when he was still getting the bugs out of his whole time-space theory thing, Einstein would unwind by doing stand-up comedy in a little Berlin Nachtspatten, or night spot. So easy when you know the language. It's true. And the National Humor Test has acquired some extremely rare footage of Dr. Einstein doing his club act. Maybe Tommy Newsom would be the dog.
Excuse me just a moment here. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Kit Kat Club. Nice to see you all. Lovely looking audience. No, I got a brother-in-law. This is a crazy guy. We should get a job. We can find out what kind of work he's out of. Thank you. I'm going to repeat them all. They go around at the speed of light. You may miss them. Hey, let me ask you something, young lady. Does this bother you when I do this? Thank you.
Albert Einstein. Physicist, scholar, humanitarian, stand-up comedian. We thank you, Albert.
Rapid technology, working fast to get home early.
Oh, hello. Glad you could be with us. I want to show you something. You know what this is, don't you? This is the human brain. Think of it as an extremely complex electronic switchboard. Did you know that for hundreds of years, scientists have suspected that somewhere deep in the inner recesses of the brain, there may just be a humor center? Let's take a look. You seen the... There we are. Today we know that the brain, of course, isn't really what it's been cracked up to be, not all that complicated. For example, this area in here, the occipital lobe, comes off quite easily, controls the sense of smell, taste, summertime chafing. Over here, everybody knows is the cerebellum. It controls movement, motor skills, and of course, power tools. And in here is the temporal lobe. We all have this on either side of our temple. This temporal lobe is important to us. It regulates our sense of time, not sense of humor, our sense of time. And of course, the amount of loose hair you find on the bottom of your tub. But what about the humor center? Where is it? Medulla oblongata, cerebellum. Well, sir, in 1975, research at the Great Lakes University found that this area right here, just under the medulla oblongata, is the part of the brain that decides, is it funny? Is it not funny? Since then, we've found that a very delicate portion of the cerebrum, just under the medulla oblongata, is an area not even known simply as the humor center, but the laugh nodule. The laugh nodule, as we know it today, controls the mechanism of laughter. It's small, but it exists. What goes on in there? What really takes place in the laugh nodule? Just take a look. least humorous time for most people is the time spent inside an ordinary bank. 6 months ago, excuse me, this small local bank was about to go broke. Just couldn't compete with the giants of the industry, offering the same serious style of banking that we're all familiar with, and that's when bank president H.R. Cuddles McBride came up with the idea of mixing funny with money.
Chevy, as you already know from having said it outside the building, 6 months ago...
Excuse me.
This small local bank was about to go broke. We just couldn't compete with the giants of the industry with that same serious style of banking. Now, that's when I came up with the idea of mixing funny with money. We started at the beginning, Chevy. We asked ourselves, what's the funniest time for the bank to be open? Now, everybody knows the funniest numbers are 3, 7, and 9. And so that's when we're open, 3 to 7 in the afternoon, and at 9.
At 9?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Now, just 9, at 9.
Yes, sir. One of the things that people find least amusing about banking is this whole thing of standing in line. But we think we found a solution.
Where are you from? Downtown. Downtown? That's my hometown. Hey, isn't this a great bank? This is a great bank. You know, my mother-in-law uses this bank. She's a fat, fat woman, you know. All she thinks about is food. You know, she tried to come in here the other day and cash a blintz. I'm kidding. She's a fine, fine woman. If you like Mack trucks that nag.
Chevy, your personalized checks are another area where we put kind of a humorous hand on things.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Now, you can have your checks printed in a very nice selection of illustrations. We have the Pinky Lee. It's very popular.
Oh, yeah.
And the Three Stooges series. We have Moe and Larry and Shemp.
Where's Curly?
Oh, I think he came later. It was Shemp first, and then
Curly was the one.
No, that was Shemp. Curly was and Jack Benny.
Henny Young.
No, Jack Benny.
Jack, well, he's got a guitar, though.
No, that's a violin.
Oh, yeah, Jack. That's nice.
Yeah. And, of course, the Moms Mabley.
Who?
Moms Mabley.
Was she married to Red Fox?
No, I think she was Red Fox for a while. Oh, and also, for an additional $250 a month, you can have your checks printed up with absolutely nobody on them at all.
But that's extra.
Yes.
Oh, boy, I don't know. I like the Mabley.
Yeah, well, let's take your time. Don't rush into anything. Oh, incidentally, Mr. Hahn, if you do decide to open an account with us, you receive this very nice plastic vomit paperweight.
Oh, this is the meatloaf and pineapple.
Yeah, we do have the salmon loaf and fruit compote, if you'd rather.
Oh, no, I got that at the branch out in El Monte. This is going to look great in the den. Okay, I get this, and I think I'm going to definitely go with the Mabley.
Oh, very good choice.
Well, I can see where there might be something funny in opening a new account here at the Funny Bank.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing really funny about asking for a bank loan, is there?
There is? Well, there is, if your application is being considered by one of our celebrity loan officers.
What do you mean?
Take a look.
I don't see anything.
No, in here.
I am very, very happy that you selected our bank. Thank you very, very much. Now, as I understand this, Mr. Lefkowitz, you and your wife want a loan. I see here your wife's name is Beta and yours is Max. Beta Max. Now, may I ask what you're going to do with this money? Open a chain of kosher sushi bars? No, I'm kidding. I love you people. What are you going to use for collateral? 3 pounds of rice, a water buffalo, and a bag of bandini? Did you know that Sammy Davis, Same Davis. Davis Sammy. Friend of mine, active friend of mine. Sammy Davis is really not Jewish. He's Japanese. That's true. He's Japanese. Every December 7th, he attacks Pearl Bailey.
Thank you very much. Very interesting bank.
Well, Chevy, it's been my pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you could come here.
Had a good time.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Chevy, your check bounced.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Oh, no.
Now let's quickly check your score, won't you? If you marked A, Leslie Uggams, you were wrong. We'll be back right after this.
National Humor Test. Right after...
Thrifty Victuals, feeding elderly America.
We're very lucky to be here today at the largest research facility of its kind anywhere in the world. Here at Our Lady of That Was No Lady, That Was My Wife Hospital, a staff of very highly trained specialists have dedicated themselves to the study of humor. Let's take a look, aren't you? Come on.
What do you think, callers? Collar up?
It's flayed. You can't have a flayed collar.
Okay.
No, this isn't Barcelona.
With a dolman collar, you could do that. I think. Mr.
I like
Chase,
that.
let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You want this to break at the knee, or should I just surprise you?
Well, I think just surprise me because I'm just going to be walking through and...
Let me get this.
You get that and then I'll...
Whatever you
Hold
think
on.
is right.
Here we go. This could not be correct. Will you check that for me?
No,
See, this
that's
is not a
totally
luau you're
impossible.
going through. This is a very important research center. You must look correct.
That's better. Yeah. You must look good here.
Dr.
So
Carroll?
pick up 14 more small rectal thermometers. Did you see that?
Dr. Hanson?
This must be it.
Very good, Lauren.
Oh, hi, Dr. Brothers. I hope I'm not too early.
Oh, no, not at all. We've been expecting you. Sit down.
Thank you.
This is my assistant, Dr. Dober.
How do you do?
Nice to see you.
Nice to touch you.
Chevy, as a comedian, I'm sure you've given a great deal of thought to the parallels between sex appeal and comedy.
No, not really. Not remotely, no.
Oh, don't be coy. Everyone knows that your great success has as much to do with your sensuality as it does your ability to fall down.
Oh, well, I thank them. I'm not sure what you're trying to get at.
Well, humor is, after all, perspective.
Yes, and a man with perspective is more intelligent, more interesting.
We'd like you to help us with an experiment. Would you be willing?
Is there any surgery involved?
No, Chevy, something a little funnier than surgery.
Funnier than surgery? Now you're talking. Love to help.
Chevy, I'd like you to sit on the couch with Dr. Dober.
Yes. Right over here, please.
That's the experiment?
Oh, no, there's much more.
Let's see. We here at the Institute believe that there is a distinct connection between sexual attraction and the sense of humor.
And we'd like you to help us prove it. We'd like you both to free associate. I'd like you, Chevy, to say the first words that come into your mind, the funnier the better. And then I'd like Dr. Dober to reply with the first words that pop into her mind, not necessarily funny.
And then?
Do what comes naturally.
Shall we begin?
Okay, luggage.
Airport.
Swan lips.
Husky.
Parcheesi.
Handsome.
Caligula.
Sexy.
Flax.
Mouth.
Teeth.
Eyes.
I do.
Kiss.
Quiche.
Kiss you
Goosebumps.
Say. Excellent. Just the results we've been looking for. Oh, you can stop kissing now. Dr. Dober, it's time to tickle the rats. Dr. Dober. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Rats. Is that it?
Yes. That's it.
That's all? I mean, that's the whole experiment?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I know from here. We're at Corn Palm.
Oh, Chevy, we want to thank you because you've been a great help to us, but we know that you're probably busy, so...
Oh, don't be silly. No, I can save plenty of time. Got a bark lounger.
No, we really have taken up much too much of your valuable time. Thank you very much for your help. We
Dr.
really
Brothers,
appreciate it. It's been just fine.
Q-tip.
You've been very, very helpful.
Four coins? All right.
Marvelous. Thank you. Thank you.
Have yourself. Mark.
Thank you. Marvelous. Terrific. This is just a marvelous result.
Genuplecto cake. Spatula.
What was that?
Spatula.
It's Dr. Brothers' favorite funny word.
Oh, boy. Sorry.
Just don't say it in front of the rats.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you again.
Okay, bugs.
That is really amazing.
Behind this door is perhaps the hospital's most advanced experiment. Common laboratory rats are being exposed to a variety of humorous stimuli, while ultra-sensitive laugh meters measure their every reaction.
Nobody could find her. Nobody could care, but Ireland's a place that we all love, and everybody wears clothing, and everyone wears clothing that's made of wool, that's made of wool, and we all love it, and we all love it. I dreamt I saw her standing there in the moonlight.
Because we couldn't think of a better name.
My name is Martin Mull, and I'm a professional comedian. It's an exciting life, and a life I wouldn't trade for yours if you paid me. And you do.
Mr. Mull, here's that $50,000 we talked about.
Well, you know what, Mr. Capello? Why don't you hang on to this and give me the full amount at the end of the second show?
Fine.
Okay, nice working with you.
Great show.
Why don't we join me in my dressing room right now, wouldn't we? Come on in, gang. Nice to see you all today. You know, I know a lot of you folks love to laugh, and perhaps some of you even make others laugh or smile. But you're not professional comedians, so I'm sure you're asking the big question, why am I Martin Mull, a professional comedian, and not you? Well, I think I can answer that one quite simply. I don't know. Just a joke. Can't help myself. Perhaps it's because I was born with almost a fifth sense which tells me what things are funny and why. A comedian should realize that with time, even very, very serious things can become quite suitable for comedy. For instance, on December 7th, 1941, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. It was not until September 4th, 1952, that people were ready to laugh at it. A long time? Yes. But a laugh that was worth the wait. Capiche? Good. I keep all of this information on these inexpensive 3x5 file cards. I have dozens of them, so let me share them with you, the aspiring young comedians. Here's the first one, is that Lincoln assassination. That will become laughable on May 6th, 1983. Ooh, thank you. It's for you. Here we go with world hunger. And that will be fair game.
These two really hungry guys going to a bar. Okay? No, they're starving guys. All right, they're starving guys, and they don't serve lunch in the bar, okay? No, they do serve lunch in the bar. The bartender says...
Fellas, not until June 19th, 1997. The fact that men have nipples will become utterly hilarious at 10:30 this evening.
Excuse me, Mr. Mull, it's 10:28, time for that second show.
Could we wait an extra 2 minutes? I'd like to use the,
Why men have with...
You know what I need.
I'll get it out of the ice chest.
Thank you. And thank you, guys and gals, and have a wonderful life in comedy. Hope I can help.
Thank you.
Enough. My friend Ollie always wants to take a lot of pictures. I'm afraid he'll catch me picking my nose.
Thank you, Jack. If you answered A, you are wrong. I am not hilarious. However, I am bored.
If you answered B, you were correct. You are a bore. I, however, am hilarious and will give myself 15 points and a leg waxing after I'm paid.
Happy to oblige, Pam. Clearly then, C and D are incorrect answers. Deduct 40 points and wax the legs of the nearest poultry.
Deduct another 13 points if you thought Dr. Brothers meant that. If you choose E, all of the above, you are probably not watching and should turn your set way up.
All-important moment. And let me thank all of the participants, all the cities that have covered this. It's time for your personal final score. This will be how you will determine what kind of a person you are, what you like, what you laugh at, what you don't, according to what you like. Let's check, shan't we? 60. Good night, George Brothers, and thank you for being with us.
Good night, everyone. Good night, Chevy.
Martin Mull, good night.